A 4-in-1 camp for Tzu Chi team leaders takes place online, sharing some of the organization's accomplishments for the past year. Tzu Chi volunteers give food and university application fees to a high school student in East Palo Alto, California. I'm Sean Scanlon. This is DAA Headlines. Let's get started. In the annual 4-in-1 camp for team leaders, Tzu Chi's kind acts in the past year were shared with everyone online. This included a special look at a total of 93 countries and regions and 229 institutions that have received Tzu Chi's medical supplies or food distribution. Take a look.
接下来我们要到全球各地去看看大家是如何付出。
The pandemic in India spread continuously. The Tzu Chi Foundation and the local Catholic chameleons started to provide anti-pandemic medical supplies since last year, joining hands to protect lives regardless of religion.
Seeing many bodies on the road waiting to be cremated, my heart really goes out to them. The master immediately said whatever the nuns needed, as long as we can buy it locally or through other religious organizations to assist, we can join together to help them.
And we can see from the photos that houses have collapsed.
Huang Qizhe, an interpreter from the United States, agrees with Tzu Chi's charitable ideals and has undertaken simultaneous English interpretation for many times, especially for Dharma language, which requires preparation in advance to avoid errors in instant translation.
For
Dharma, I need to prepare in advance. I need to check on the scriptures and translate them first, as I can't translate them simultaneously.
Due to the pandemic, Tzu Chi's annual 4-in-1 camp for team leaders have gone online. Yet, what remains unchanged is everyone's aspiration to follow the Bodhisattva's path.
More than 20,000 students in 47 countries and regions participate in the annual 4-in-1 camp for team leaders. Translation teams work diligently to provide real-time interpretation in 8 different languages. Here's more.
If we encounter a problem, solve it immediately. 5 people should take care of 9 computers to keep the connection uninterrupted.
Philippines? Yeah, Philippines. But I have the link ready here.
Okay. Translation teams come from different countries and regions, and the multiple languages are coordinated with each other to avoid miscommunication.
It is a big challenge to translate different languages at different times. Because there are different time zones, the timetable is a bit more complicated. We also encountered a translator who didn't know if he should translate at this time. So we will have on-site translation volunteers who can directly take over.
Todos estos desperdicios o las vegetales, cuando logramos separarlos.
Dina, a translator from Mexico, experienced an 8.1 earthquake in southern Mexico in 2017. Tzu Chi went to help. She was grateful and came to Taiwan to learn Chinese. When encountering this camp, she was obligated to assist in translation.
It's a collaboration, and I'm actually really grateful to them because they have allowed me the opportunity, because it's a big event, so there's a lot of responsibilities. I'm being able to help, and then they're helping me to learn more.
Simultaneous translation in 8 languages breaks the barriers of countries and regions, because technology connection brings together time zones to deliver real-time knowledge.
During the pandemic prevention period, many places are closed off. This has resulted in more homeless people having no choice but to sleep in Taichung Park. After a recent heavy rain, one individual was found cold and wet outside a public toilet. A police patrol brought him secondhand clothes as well as hot food to help this homeless person during his time of need. Take a look. On the ground next to the public toilet in Taichung Park is a homeless person taking a rest. On rainy days, these narrow eaves provide shelter.
There's only the park. It has the eaves to shelter from the wind and rain.
But the park is an open space. After days of heavy rain, some homeless people got wet and were shivering in public toilets. They were later spotted by patrol officers.
Colleagues went to the police station and took some old clothes and came here and gave it to him to put it on.
As the Park Police Precinct provides many service cases for people, they frequently donate secondhand clothes in case of any emergency. Police also provide hot food to warm up homeless people.
The park is still open at the moment, so the number of homeless people have increased slightly.
During the pandemic prevention period, many places were closed to the public, causing the number of homeless people in Taichung Park to increase by 10 to 20%. Police have strengthened patrols and warned of gatherings, though it did not overlook the care given to the homeless. Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter in Malaysia once again donated food to help those in need. During this period of pandemic, thanks to many kind-hearted people, resources and supplies were gathered and then delivered to those struggling to survive. Let's learn more.
The dry goods inside the truck have been prepared for those who need it. This distribution by the Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter was made possible by the love of so many people.
What's touching is that the items have already been packaged, so it has saved us a lot of time. We are so thankful for them, and it's thanks to their resources that we can help more people, including refugees. There are so many people who are nearly starving and out of food right now, so we're glad to offer as much help as we can. We have partnered with Tzu Chi volunteers, us and a couple of friends. Within our means, we have gathered funds, and there are also those of us who are here to contribute physically as well.
We are so thankful for this donation because, as you know, in this situation, because of the corona, the lockdown, so many families cannot work, so they don't have the groceries and stuff like this. So we're just surviving from the donations and the help.
The master says if the suffering can't call for help, then we must send help to them. So we are bringing them food in hopes of solving their crisis temporarily, helping to relieve some burden.
Tzu Chi helps to gather resources from all corners of society and redirect it to give to those living in forgotten corners, a chance to survive through these difficult times.
In Malaysia, the Tzu Chi Malacca chapter continued to process relief subsidy requests. One of the households making such a request has a Tzu Chi scholarship recipient. The child showed gratitude by giving a bamboo coin bank in order to continue the cycle of love. Take a look.
The light bag is filled with love, containing a blessing letter from Master Zhen Yan and relief subsidies. The house owner, Sasi, lost his job during the pandemic. His son is a Tzu Chi scholarship recipient, as he brought out his bamboo coin bank. He saved all this money by himself because he wanted to do something good. I'm an electrician, but due to the pandemic, I cannot go into my client's house to repair. As of now, we live a tough life. It's already the end of the month, but I cannot pay my rent and utility bills. I also never thought that Tzu Chi would help me, giving me 800 ringgits. Another household of 7 people requested help from Tzu Chi after they lost their means to earn.
My friend told me to ask for Tzu Chi's assistance, but actually we felt a bit embarrassed to ask for help because there are people who live a tougher life than us. My friend told me, you live a tough life too. You have to raise 4 children. Don't be afraid to ask for help. So at the start I tried to ask, but I never thought of receiving the aid. Thank you very much.
Master kita menyuruh virus membahayakan, namun kami berupaya mencegah virus dengan amalan sikap hormat cermat, jaga diri dengan sebaik-baiknya.
Facing the fierce pandemic, we should look for inner peace while caring for others.
East Palo Alto in the United States was severely affected by COVID last year. Local Tzu Chi volunteers going to the food bank of the school district to help and assist families affected by the pandemic. At the same time, they helped a senior in high school with college application fees so that she can apply to universities without worry. Here's more in our report.
I'm Giselle Barragan. I am an incoming freshman at UC Berkeley. I speak both English and Spanish. They put me in the front where I can help translate and help operations run a lot smoother.
Last year, when COVID-19 broke out, many people were unemployed or even got sick. The situation was very serious. Then I learned that the food bank here was in need of manpower, so we asked our volunteers to come and help. Giselle helped us a lot because many can hardly speak English and we don't speak Spanish. So Giselle helped with translation work.
I know there aren't that many people here at the community service site that speak both English and Spanish. So I knew that I was a big help, so that just kind of motivated me.
We have a lot of families now due to the pandemic. We have 650 families each week. The Sisters and the Brothers have been helpful to the community with the pandemics, helping out everybody that had positive cases, COVID. So I'm grateful that they're here every Saturday with me.
Because we have been coming to this food bank to help, and we have received a lot of requests to help them. So we started to provide emergency subsidies from May last year.
I get my first COVID. I feel very sick, and I'm not available to go out. At that time, I don't have no food, nothing. Sushi, bring me all the stuff I need. God put you guys with me and my family.
I needed some money for the college applications. I used fee waivers as many as I could, but I still had about like $300 that I had to pay on my own.
I said it doesn't matter. You apply to as many as you want, and we will help with all your application fees.
They just really helped me and my mom out with that stuff, so I really appreciated that. Because I am a first-gen kid going to college, and there's not many people that I can talk to about college, but then the foundation's always all like, we got you, like, we can help you, we can support you. So, yeah, they're really cool about that.
Tzu Chi volunteers in England are promoting their vegan kitchen campaign. The event includes visiting different houses, using their kitchen and ingredients to teach you how to cook vegan food. Today they visit a Cantonese family and cooked 4 delicious dishes. Let's take a look.
Vegan kitchen, go, 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 go. How delicious can vegan food be? Tzu Chi volunteers are here to show you in the comfort of your own kitchen with whatever ingredients you have on hand.
These are the vegetables she had in her fridge. I will use the tofu to make mapo tofu, and then beans to make a vegetarian Sichuan stir-fry dish.
The lady of the house is originally from Hong Kong, but she has doubts about how to present vegan food to her family. The volunteers have confidence in their cooking.
This 然后这个是麻婆豆腐，姜丝蒟蒻芥兰，韩式炒年糕，苍蝇头，50分钟。哇，很厉害哦！从备料到整个煮完。
In less than an hour, the volunteers have filled the table with vegan dishes, and now the neighbors and friends are here to enjoy a meal together.
搅动，它的味道就刚好配了那个饭特别好。因为每一个味道都不同，啊。
我吃完了，我喜欢麻婆豆腐，太好吃那味道。
With everyone finishing their plate, the lady of the house has confidence and is willing to join the vegan movement.
真的很神奇，太神奇了吗
It's so amazing. We normally eat these dishes with meat.
现在就是没有肉的，其实。
However, today there was none, and it didn't feel different. That was good.
很好吃。
Taking action to change people's perspectives, Vegan Kitchen is once again a success.
Vegan Kitchen, go, go, go!
The fourth round of vaccinations has gotten underway, with Sanchong and Banqiao Jingsi halls continuing to serve as vaccination stations. Health Minister Tzu Chi paid a visit to cheer up healthcare workers. Here's more.
With the fourth round of vaccinations beginning at Sanchong and Banqiao Jingsi halls, Health Minister Tzu Chi visited to cheer up healthcare workers. With electric fans and water mist, as well as tents from the check-in area, members of the public can wait comfortably in the hot weather for vaccination. People's feelings make Tzu Chi satisfied with the vaccination at the Jingsi Hall. He also praised the orderly vaccination flow. Volunteers specially prepared a little surprise for him.
The service here is not only professional but also very warm. The loving act from our volunteers helps stabilize people's uneasy mind.
It's nice to meet Minister Chen by chance. We think that vaccination in Taiwan has done quite well. All process at Jingsi Hall is pretty good.
The vaccination station serves an average of 1,000 people a day. Healthcare workers and volunteers have been taking turns serving since mid-June. Although tired, they still come to help diligently.
To see if the people are feeling uncomfortable and then make necessary adjustments. My clothes are totally wet when I go home.
The love is from the bottom of our heart. Everyone is like a family.
To ensure everyone can get vaccination protection, Tzu Chi also gave encouragement to the public.
With such a good society, our pandemic prevention should be successful. Let's work hard and hang on together. The medical staff at the vaccination station vaccinate hundreds of people every day. This may cause their hands to become red and swollen with an occasional blister. Frontline pandemic prevention personnel were thanked as the Agriculture and Food Agency cooperated with Taiwan Flower Shop Association to send floral bouquets to various vaccination stations. Whether it is vaccination stations or hospital injection rooms across Taiwan, nurses have one thing in common. Their hands have been very busy. Before the injection, the nurses have to draw the medicine, remove the tape, press the needle for injection, and then disinfect and rub. This process is not just done once, but hundreds of times a day.
This action of pressing the same part of the body is repeated all day. You will find that the nursing staff, with their hands stuffed into gloves, may suffer minor injuries.
Even wearing gloves doesn't help withstand such torture. The hands become dry, red, and swollen, and even blisters and broken skin. The Agriculture and Food Administration gave special gifts to medical staff for their hard work. Cooperating with the Taiwan Flower Shops Association, different floral bouquets were given to healthcare workers.
We all use the domestic flower produced in different countries and cities. For example, we use orchids in Pingdong as they are the local flowers. And for Taichung and Taipei, we use other kind of domestically produced flowers.
It's estimated that each vaccination station will receive 30 to 100 bouquets. A total of 80,000 domestic bouquets will be sent out. Many hope the beauty of Taiwanese flowers will heal the pain of hard-working frontline medical staff. As more and more people have the opportunity to get a COVID vaccine, there are a few precautions needed before and after the injection. Some may be curious about the type of injection they are receiving and why it needs to be applied to a muscle, not just the short shot under the skin. Take a look. The medical staff picked up the syringe and put a COVID shot into the upper arm of a person at a 90-degree angle.
I got the AZ shot and there was no discomfort on the day. It was just a little bit of muscle pain where the shot was given.
This COVID vaccine coming to Taiwan needs to be administered in the muscle, and more than 50% of people have fatigue or muscle aches all over the body.
Local acute reaction usually occurred after vaccination at site of shot. This is usually related to the vaccination technique and the concentration of the drug. Generally speaking, our existing COVID vaccine is messenger RNA. Basically because its concentration is particularly high, the pain at the injection site is particularly obvious. Adenovirus vector vaccine, such as the AZ vaccine, is usually lighter. If it is a protein vaccine, its reaction will be lighter.
Generally, vaccination is divided into 3 types: intramuscular injection, subcutaneous injection, and intradermal injection. This time, the COVID vaccine is all intramuscular injection. Intradermal injection, which is inserted into the dermis at 5 to 15 degrees, is more painful during injection and the dose is lower. This is the case with BCG. Subcutaneous injection is to infuse fat tissue at a 45-degree angle, and the injection dose is greater than intradermal injection. Common vaccines include measles and chickenpox. Intramuscular injection is inserted into the muscle layer at 90 degrees, allowing higher doses. There are common cervical cancer vaccines and current COVID vaccines.
Most of the general types of vaccines are injected into the muscles, but some are injected under the skin. For example, many of our measles vaccines or chickenpox vaccines, which are leaf vaccines. In fact, the immune effect will be better when applied under the skin. Actually, it is because of its absorption. The slower it hits the skin is the slower absorption, so the immune system will stay in contact with the vaccine longer.
The injection position is usually the upper arm, because the upper arm has less fat and more blood vessels, and the blood vessels connect to the immune system, which allows white blood cells to have more opportunities to contact antigens and produce an immune response. There are also fewer nerves in the upper arm. It is less painful, more convenient to stretch, and everyone can roll up their sleeves.
The muscles are easier to inject because they are big and no good technique is needed. Just one suits, as long as it is of sufficient length is good. Unless there are some particular thin people whose muscles are really too small, there could be a little problem. The big muscles are here or in the buttocks, so as long as the length of the needle is enough, you will almost get into the muscle.
There are immune cells in the epidermis, dermis, and adipose tissue, such as dendritic cells and macrophages. Most vaccines are injected intramuscularly, followed by subcutaneous inoculation, and a few are intradermal, intranasal, or even oral vaccines. At present, research units around the world are also trying to find new COVID vaccines.
Nasal sprays are hopeful, whether it's the gastrointestinal tract or respiratory tract, because there is an IgA antibody on the mucosal epidermis. If we can directly let our antigen enter the mucosal epidermis, can stimulate very good IgA. But nasal spray research in the past found it actually went to the head, as we are waiting for more research.
Vaccines are the way humans can fight against viruses. With the advancement of science and technology, many believe there will be more effective and convenient new vaccines for everyone to choose from in the future. Due to the pandemic, Guatemalan Tzu Chi volunteers did not hold year-end blessing ceremonies, personally delivering red envelopes of blessing and wisdom, along with medical-grade masks from Taiwan. Thank you for watching. We leave you with these images. Goodbye.